Welcome to VIZ Studio, your go-to channel for 3D visualization tutorials, tips, and industry insights. In this video, we will show you how to update Corona Renderer from an older version to the latest version, Corona 14. Whether you are on Corona 10, 11, 12, or 13, this guide will walk you through every step of the update process. Before we get into the steps, let us talk about why you should update. Each new version of Corona brings performance improvements, new features, and bug fixes. Corona 14, for example, introduces AI-powered tools like the AI material generator that can create realistic materials from a single photo. It also adds support for Gaussian Splats, a new night sky system, and procedural fabric materials. Staying on an older version means you miss out on these features, and you may also face compatibility issues with newer versions of 3ds Max. So keeping Corona updated is always a good idea. First, let us check which version of Corona you currently have installed. Open 3ds Max and go to Render Setup by pressing F10. Navigate to the System tab and scroll down to About Chaos Corona. Here you will see your current Corona version number, your license type, and your license expiry date. Make a note of your current version. This is helpful in case you need to troubleshoot after the update. Before updating, it is important to back up your work. Save all your open scenes and close 3ds Max completely. If you have custom render presets, export them from the Render Setup dialog so you can import them later. It is also a good idea to take a screenshot of your current render settings for reference. If you are in the middle of a project with tight deadlines, consider waiting until the project is complete before updating. This way, you avoid any unexpected changes to your render output during a critical phase. Now let us go through the update process step by step. Go to chaos.com/corona/download to get the latest installer. You will find the universal installer for both 3ds Max and Cinema 4D. Make sure you are logged into your Chaos account. Your subscription must be active to download the latest version. The installer file is around 500 megabytes, so make sure you have a stable internet connection. Here is the important part. You do not need to uninstall the old version first. Simply run the new installer, and it will automatically replace all files from your previous Corona installation. Right-click the installer and select Run as Administrator. The installer will detect your 3ds Max versions and show which ones will be updated. Choose Standard Mode for a quick update, or Custom Mode if you want to select specific components. The installation process usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes depending on your system. Once complete, you will see a confirmation screen. Click Finish and you are done. After the update, let us verify everything is working. Open 3ds Max and press F10 to open Render Setup. Go to the System tab and check About Chaos Corona. You should now see Corona 14 as your installed version. Try running a quick interactive render by pressing Shift+ or to make sure the renderer is working correctly. If you exported your render presets earlier, now is the time to import them back. Let us take a look at what is new in Corona 14 after your update. Corona 14 brings several powerful AI features. The AI material generator lets you turn a real-world photo into a fully mapped PBR material instantly. Just take a photo of a surface like wood, stone, or fabric, and Corona will generate all the texture maps for you. The AI Image Enhancer has new advanced controls for refining people, vegetation, and terrain in your renders. And the AI Upscaler can increase your render resolution by 2x or 4x through Chaos Cloud, without re-rendering. Two exciting visual features have been added. Gaussian Splats support allows you to import 3D scanned environments into your scenes. This is perfect for placing your architectural designs into real-world contexts with accurate reflections and refractions. The night sky system simulates realistic moonlight, stars, and the Milky Way. You can set the location, date, and time to get an astronomically accurate sky, or adjust it manually for artistic control. Both features are fully animatable, giving you creative freedom in your projects. The new fabric material is a game-changer for interior designers. It creates realistic woven fabrics procedurally without needing external texture maps. You have full control over the weave pattern, thread thickness, opacity, bump, and displacement. Corona 14 also includes performance improvements with better volume sampling and a more responsive interface. The virtual frame buffer has been refined with cleaner icons, simplified navigation, and a more compact layout. Now let us talk about working with your existing scenes after the update. The good news is that Corona is backward compatible with your old scene files. You can open any scene created with an older version of Corona in the latest version without any issues. However, keep in mind that some legacy settings may be enabled to maintain visual consistency with your previous renders. If you want to take advantage of new rendering features, you may need to manually enable them in the render settings. It is always a good practice to do a test render of your old scenes after updating to compare the output. In some cases, you might need to keep an older version of Corona alongside the new one. For example, if a client requires renders from a specific Corona version for consistency. Corona 5 and newer support a multiloader system that lets you switch between different Corona versions. This is done by setting an environment variable that points to a specific Corona installation folder. However, you cannot have two versions installed for the same 3ds Max version using the standard installer. Check the Chaos documentation for detailed instructions on setting up multiloaders. Finally, let us cover some common issues you might face after updating. If Corona does not appear in the renderer list after updating, try restarting 3ds Max. If the issue persists, run the installer again in custom mode and make sure the correct 3ds Max version is selected. If you see a license error, check that your Chaos subscription is active and that the license server is running. You can check the license server by opening localhost port 30304 in your browser. If your renders look different after the update, check for legacy settings in the render configuration that may need to be toggled. And if you need to go back to your previous version, you can always download older installers from the Chaos website. That covers everything you need to know about updating Corona Renderer to the latest version. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to VIZ Studio for more 3D visualization tutorials. Drop a comment below if you have any questions about the update process, and we will be happy to help.